Hey, welcome to Cow-Free Kicks. I don't think my mind has ever been as jumbled about a sneaker as this shoe here. It is the ADIDAS CLIMACOOL Laced. Welcome to the channel. If you've not seen one of my videos before, I always look into 5 different categories when I review a pair of sneakers. And then at the end of the video, I will give these ADIDAS CLIMACOOL Laced an overall rating out of 5 stars, which you can compare to all the other kicks that I've reviewed this year. And as always, if you do want to show a little bit of extra support, please do not forget to click the little thumbs up like button below on your device whilst you're down there. And if you've not done so already, please do take time to subscribe to the channel. All of the support is greatly appreciated. So let's start the review off, as I always do, by first checking them out on feet. Officially, this version of the new Adidas 3D printed CLIMACOOLs will be available as a laced version on the 15th of July via the Adidas app and website in this off-white colorway with the black laces and the black tongue, and also in a second fully grayed out colorway as well. Now, I didn't try on the mule version of these, which is pretty much the version which had no laces and it was just a slip-on version of the shoe. I personally do not like slip-on shoes. I like to have them laced because I feel like I can get a better fit. So I was really excited to try this laced version on because I think that's the reason why Adidas have released them too, because it helps you to mold them to your foot. Because don't forget, these are not designed to meet the needs of every foot. It's not like you're getting your foot printed and these shoes are being created around your individual footprint. But what Adidas have tried to do is create a shoe that's 3D printed, full of this lattice structure that you can see on the upper, and it runs throughout the midsole of the shoe and throughout the outer sole of the sneaker as well. You can see the lattice structure continues, and it's what they're trying to create is a full 360 feel to airflow on your feet, creating the ultimate CLIMACOOL shoe, which they've obviously been trying to do for decades. And what they've done is exactly that. They've created a shoe that has this lattice structure, which has holes and configurations all the way throughout the shoe. You can see that a lot of those holes are dampened on the forefoot and towards the heel of the outsole, but on the upper of the sneaker, it's full 360 lattice in this slightly odd plasticky material that's come out of the 3D printing process. And I've got to admit as well, they do have a slightly funny smell to them as well. Now, which makes these different from the mule version is the laces. You've got flat laces that are made with just standard lace loop holes, and that sits on top of a black tongue that is connected on the inside of the shoe pretty much with the laces, and then a little bit of connection at the bottom just here where the laces finish just near the top of the toe box. There's ghost printed Adidas branding on the side here, you can see in the 3 stripes. Overall, I'm just not sure about them. I'm not sure how they fit with me personally. I think a lot of people are going to love this design. I really do love the innovation that's gone behind it. I don't particularly like how they feel in my hand. I don't like the smell, but that might be because they come in a fully sealed, very thick, shiny plastic bag inside the box. And that may be just part of the manufacturing smell that will die down over time. But overall, I just think I'm not feeling them. Now I want to talk more about their comfort, where I want to put them to the test on my back doorstep. And this is where the shoe falls down for me, and that is how they sit on your feet. So it's not so much how comfortable they are on the foot, because with this lattice configuration you get with the midsole, it's a lot of it, more of a tighter weave than you get there. You can see from the insole unit there, it continues to quite a tight weave. It's a little bit tighter than the more open lattice you get on the top of your feet, but it still is, you can see all the way through. There's holes in this lattice all the way through the middle of the midsole. And it did create a nice bouncy feel underfoot. There's really nice responsive give and bounce back from toe to heel. There's nice energy return as well. When I was walking the knees, they're super silent, these shoes. And also they do feel like they mold to your feet quite well. But I've got a huge issue with that element of this shoe, and it's the material they've used for this molding process. It took me ages to find a pair of socks that I could get my feet into this shoe with, because I wore my normal like thicker crew socks with these that I normally do my videos in, and I couldn't get my foot physically in the shoe because this material, this 3D printed material, is so grippy that it gripped my sock to the point where I couldn't get my foot into the shoe. I had to end up putting a thinner pair of socks on, pulling the sock half off my foot, so that when I inserted my foot into the shoe, it pulled the sock back up my foot and my foot could sit nicely into the shoe. And that just seems like a bit of an effort every time I want to put the shoe on. I did try the shoes on in bare feet as well, and I really didn't like the feeling of this lattice structure because of the way it weaves kind of crisscross. I didn't like that feeling on my feet at all, and it is a bit too rigid for me to wear barefoot because of when it bends and creases. I felt like that was digging into my feet a little bit, especially where they've created these thicker areas of the 3D printed material around the bottom of the laces and around the top of the toe box. I found those really dug into my feet if I had no socks on. I just found it too grippy, and also half of my sock has been left inside this shoe. It's so grippy and sticky that it's taken the fibres off my shoe, and there's just black fibres all over the inside of the shoe and also on the outside as well. So I don't know how they were going to respond that well to dirt, but if that's the case, I do think these could get dirty quite quickly, and it really ruins the comfort experience for me, because size-wise, I also think you need to go a full size up. I went with my true size, UK size 10, and they were too short, and also I've got slightly wider than average feet and they were way too narrow. The toe box looks quite wide, but they were way too narrow for me because this is quite a thick material. Now you do have some pillows around the top of your foot here that they've printed in to add extra comfort around the foot entry, but I also found that when I had them on, even though they were too short and too narrow, I also found that there was too much play around the heel, and I didn't feel like I was secure within this shoe. I just didn't feel like it worked for me comfort-wise at all. Now I want to move on to their weight, where I'm going to pop them on the scales. Another thing that lets these down is their weight. They feel heavy in hand and they are heavy on the scales. 407 grams per shoe. I was expecting this shoe, as well as the fact that it offers full breathability, 360, I was really hoping that they would offer a lightweight feel to them as well, and they just don't feel as light as I would have liked. They are being promoted as a lightweight shoe that literally feels like it's molded to part of your foot and feels like it's not even there, and I didn't get that sensation at all because the weight is too much. I consider any shoe above 400 grams to be heavyweight, 350 and below lightweight, 300 grams and below incredibly lightweight. So it is in the heavyweight category, and that's a big disappointment because I do feel that translates into a shoe that is going to weigh your feet down over time. Now I want to talk more about their breathability, where I want to pump this lattice upper full of smoke to see how breathable it is. Obviously, this is where it really excelled. The breathability on this shoe is insane. It came out so quickly and in large amounts from the toe box. And then you can see it creeped out from underneath your feet, where you've got these exposed areas where you don't have this increase in the lattice structure on the footbed at the front and the heel. This area in the middle of the outsole really let the smoke escape too. It escaped from the back of the shoe, the middle of the shoe, but it was just flowing out of the toe box. The most breathable pair of shoes I have ever reviewed because of the fact it does what it says on the tin. Is a 360 feel that you get with the ventilation for these. So an excellent result in the breathability test. Now it's going to move me on to their price. Now these come in at quite a reasonable £140, and I don't think that's too bad in today's society and sneaker culture, where the sneaker prices seem to be going up and up and up. I think it's quite an achievable price for a lot of people, and a good entry level to a 3D printed innovation that Adidas, I think, are probably going to try and create a lot more styles with in the future. But my overall score for these is going to be a very, very average 3 stars. And it's just because of the fact I can't really get over how much I really don't like how they feel on my feet. And that's the biggest thing for me is a pair of shoes, you want them to feel great. Now they do feel really good underfoot, but trying to get them on and on top of my feet, that sensation, the fact that it didn't feel like it fit me right. I know they're probably the wrong size. If I go a size up, that will probably help with that. But also I do think the heel slippage will increase with that. So I'm a bit of a catch-22 there with the sizing. I don't really think they look that great. I don't think they're really for me. I think they're going to attract a lot of dirt. They're super grippy. I just think I can't give them any more than 3 stars. I applaud the innovation, but I think the execution and the final product just hasn't hit it for me. Now, if you like what you've seen today, please do not forget to give the video a thumbs up like before you leave. You can also follow me on Instagram, drop any comments below, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye.